Hey, hi. Oh, we did it. I don't know what's going on today, but I see. I can now see all the chat. Hi, everyone. Okay. I'm reading all the comments. Today is strange day. It's October 4th, 2021, and I'm reading that people from all over the world are experiencing a shutdown or a crash for all of our social media. So I couldn't notify anyone on Instagram that we had the live video today, and I didn't know whether you would remember that today we had another edition of the journal. I thought no one was going to be here, but I'm so happy to see I am not alone. So Instagram is down today. Facebook is too. I use WhatsApp a lot for texting. WhatsApp is not working, which is tricky because we use WhatsApp for our company texting, and so I wondered whether YouTube was still going to be available, but it is. So nice to see all of you. You're not alone. YouTube notifications work perfect. That's fantastic. And also, when I click the button to do the live broadcast, YouTube was not working for me. So I don't know if you saw me trying to get it to work before, but then I refreshed and here I am. So DNS failure. Anyway, welcome to my live edition of my knitting journal. Today, I have a feeling that it's going to be a very short one because I haven't been knitting almost at all. So I am counting on you for making questions. Hi, everyone. I see the number of people going up. I can tell that you guys are joining in. It might be because there aren't any other social media to look at the time, so it might be a good thing after all. But yeah, so we have people from Spain, from Greensboro, Portugal, Netherlands, South Africa. Michelle says, I don't have Instagram or Facebook, so yay me, I can see this and join this knit along. Thank you, Joji. And so, yes, here we are. You know, how strange, we don't have social media. Well, YouTube is social media. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Nancy. Hi, everyone joining in. Hi, Denmark, Toronto. So, what's up? I don't have a lot to show you today, and I hope that you'll have questions or things that you want to chat about so that we don't make this journal too short. I'm reading everyone's messages saying hello. I'm broadcasting from Buenos Aires in Argentina. I am feeling a little bit under the weather since last week, probably. Since Friday, I started feeling chills in my body. I don't have COVID, but you know, we're at the end of the winter season, beginning of the spring season, and I think that either we got a cold or it's the allergies that are getting to me. So my voice is stranger than usual, and I'm feeling very, very cold. When I was about to record, I wondered what to wear because I've been showing all the things that I've been knitting lately, and I haven't been knitting many new ones. So I went to, we have a mezzanine above Charlie's office, and I have bags with sweaters that I don't wear anymore. And I started taking those out to see if there was anything that I hadn't yet shown in the journal. So I picked this one. This is a very old design. I like your headband. This is a very old design. It's called On the Road Again, and it's a pullover with a matching cowl. And someone said she likes my headband. It could be worn as a headband. It looks nice. It's a rather nice alternative. It's called On the Road Again. This is designed for worsted weight yarn. The one that I use is Primo worsted, and it's from the Black Knitter. My hair is terrible today. I designed it to have a matching cowl, and nice for a bad hair day like today. Excellent for bad hair day. And yeah, so this was designed in an era where I wore my sweaters with a lot less positive ease, so a lot tighter than I like to wear them now, or I was smaller, A or B. I think I like them tighter than I do now, and I might wear tighter sweaters but shorter. This one is rather long. Let me show you. It's rather like a tunic length, and it has two tiny pockets to put. I don't know what I would put there. I suppose I could fit my phone. But when I wore it today, I really liked it. I thought, oh, maybe I should put this sweater back in the pile of sweater that I do wear. What else? You sound fine, but I'm sorry you're feeling under the weather. Sorry to hear you're not feeling well. Colds and allergies are going around here in Kensington, Maryland, USA. Take care of yourself. My kids do have the same. Nano didn't go to school today because he had a stuffed nose. So we thought it was better not to send him to school to see how he develops, just in case he develops a fever or anything. But if he continues to feel the same way, he'll probably go to school tomorrow. And yeah, so that's that. What's new? I have been knitting a little bit, but I have been training a lot this week because I needed to get back to my routine. So I haven't been knitting much, and I have been working a lot for our bag company. So this is the only progress I can show, which is not little, but it's the only one. So maybe you remember the sweater that I'm working on using 2 strands of the Lamb and Kid yarns. The Lamb and Kid yarns. I have pink and blue and 2 different qualities. This is the thicker is the Todd, and it's 65% yak, 35% cashmere. And I have it in pink and blue in that quality. And then I have mohair, and it's called Momo, and I have it in pink and blue. And so I am using 2 strands together, but I am alternating which colors I hold of each. And I've finished the body. I don't have a ton of yarn, so it's kind of a crop body. And I'm going to try it on over the sweater that I'm wearing now. So let me see if I can show you better. This one is not quite as long as the other one I'm wearing. It's kind of cropped, and but not too cropped. It's not like crop. You can see, sorry about that. You can see my jeans, so it's kind of where my jeans end. And and it has like a shoulder slope here on top. And I'm doing like a kind of a satin sleeve top, and then I'm going to stripe the sleeves down, and it's going to have a contrasting front band. I decided to do the entire sleeve cap in this combination of colors, but then I'm going to start striping again to continue with the same look that I gave the rest of the cardigan. Okay, so this is that yarn, those two strands held together. I hope I can finish this one soon. I started the sleeves last night while I was listening to a book, and I didn't make a ton of progress because no, Ceci, I haven't finished the pink cardigan. This is all I've been working on. Because during this time when I'm not feeling so great, I get really cold in my arms and hands. I don't know why, but it's like I get shivers down my elbows and my forearms and my hands. So I really feel like staying in bed and cuddling and covering my arms. So I haven't been knitting for all of those reasons. But I've taken some ibuprofen today and hopefully I can make some progress. I don't have a lot more to do today other than knit, so perhaps I'll make some good progress. Hi, everyone who's just joining in. I was just showing the cardigan that I'm working on, the only thing that I've been working on this week. Speaking of books, I finished the book I was listening to last night. It's called The Midnight Library, and it's by, this is a very popular book, but I can't remember. But Matt Haig, let me show you. Sorry about that. This is the cover of the book. Matt Haig, The Midnight Library. I super recommend this. This book was it was so nice to listen to, and I, at times there were some sensitive parts of the book that got me really emotional, but it's a beautiful book, and I finished it and I felt like reading more of these authors' books because I felt really good about my self when I finished the book. So if you're looking for a not so long read or something to listen to while you knit, this is a book that I really, really enjoyed. Pia says, I've listened to that one also. I like his other book better. In Argentina, we don't have any other books but Mike Haig available through Audible. Sometimes it has to do with what the platform pays for. So it depends on whether the author has authorized his rights to be shared in a certain area. So I looked at what was available yesterday for him through Audible and not much more. Maria says, I have never tried to listen to an audiobook. I started listening to audiobooks 2 years ago because I got tired of watching the TV, and I felt like I had literally watched every show on Netflix, and now I was watching just what was available. And also, I can read and knit at the same time, but it's difficult. And I wanted to read some books that some friends were talking about, and I felt like I had to either read or knit. And it took me a while to get used to it. I pay for Audible subscription. So I think I pay, could it be $15 a month or $10 a month or something like that? And I get 1 credit per month. So I can like cash that credit to buy a book that I like. And also when you pay the subscription, there are a lot of titles that are free to use, that are included with your subscription. Hoji, you throw half the sleeve and pick on the other half of the sleeve. I have not seen this before. Coral, I changed from English to continental. Like I'm trying I'm trying to stay consistent, but I'm trying to do continental, but when I forget, I go to English style. But going back to Audible, I have 1 credit a month that I can use to buy 1 book. And there are other books that are included with your subscription. So if you have a lot of time to listen to books, it becomes something that you can really make use of. Each book is more expensive than buying the written book or the Kindle book, but I can knit and listen to a story. And the only bad thing for me as an Argentine is that the way we speak Spanish in my country is very different from other countries like Mexico or Venezuela or Colombia, and especially very different from the Spanish spoken in Spain. And there aren't many books read by Argentine narrators. So at first, it took me a while to get used to Spanish narrators or actors who read the stories. And but then I really got into it. So the first book that I listened to, it was awkward, and I wasn't really immersing myself in the story. And sometimes I found that my mind would wander off, and I had to rewind and go back and listen to parts of the story again. But then I got more used to the app and the action of actually listening to a story. So now whenever there's a distraction, I know that I need to pause the book because my brain won't be listening to the story and I want to know what's going on. So yeah, and I think that I listen to a book a month. I don't listen to a lot more than that. I read paper books too, so I do a little bit of both, and I don't need more than 1 credit a month. And also my mom and Charlie share the same subscription, so they are able to listen to books that I've already purchased through the app, and they are able to enjoy that. Let's see what everyone's now saying. Maria says, I love so much to read on a paper book. I am not so sure. I like to read on a paper book too. I didn't think I would get used to Kindle, and I did. I didn't think I would have gotten used to Audible, and I did. So I think it's just different ways of reading. I have a son who's really into books. I think that definitely more than I am. Every time we go on a vacation, we have to go and visit libraries and bookshops. And he's got his favorite style, and he likes to collect his books. And his favorite authors, he has to have them on paper, and he even gets them in Spanish and in English if he finds them. But he also listens to a lot of audiobooks while he's playing games on the computer, or even I think that I once walked into him watching Friends and listening to an audiobook at the same time, because he had already watched that episode and he wanted to do both things at the same time. So it's just another way of reading. Mm, okay, libraries offer books for streaming also, probably that is in the US, not where I am. I am not keen on audiobooks. I prefer to read physical books. You know, there's everyone with their own tastes. I don't think you need to do either. You can do both if you like. I also use Audible and enjoy knitting while I listen. I like reading too. It's comforting to hold a book in my lap. I totally get that, but I am afraid that listening kind of spoils the story. I have to disagree there. The people who read the books are not just readers, they are audiobook actors. So they are chosen for a specific story. Often the author themselves, they choose the person who's going to read their stories. There are good and bad readers or actors, and you can, when you finish a book, you can get to look for other books that are read or told by the same actor if you really like how someone narrates the story. In fact, the book that I just read, The Midnight Library, was read by this gorgeous actress. Mm-hmm. The Midnight Library was read by Carrie Mulligan. I'm sure you know Carrie Mulligan. This is she. She reads that book and she does a fabulous job at reading the story. Now I'm hot, and I previously, before reading The Midnight Library, I read, my brain is so foggy today. I read Green Light by Matthew McConaughey, his autobiography, and he reads the story himself. So it's a fabulous way of listening to a story, because you get to also understand sometimes the way he wants you to read a certain sentence. So yeah, it's a different experience. It's listening to someone read a book in a really professional way. It's not just like a computer telling you a story. So Joji and Forever and Ever KAL are bubbles supposed to pop out on the right side. Yeah, you can like push them with your finger and make them pop, but they won't pop a lot. Did you go to Seattle Public Library while there? It's supposed to be gorgeous. No, Mary, I only stayed for one evening in Seattle, so we didn't get to go to any buildings other than the pier. Hola, I have a niece that is nearly 12 who is very much like your son. She devours books. We have a gorgeous photo of her age 6 months sat up reading her cloth baby book. Aww. Ceci says you should listen to the audiobooks by Max Brooks. They are amazing, always read by many actors, great production. Also, I love books read by Will Wheaton. He's the best. I like Will Wheaton a lot, so maybe I'll look into that. Hello from Arkansas. Mary Sherwood says he's got such a nice voice. I think that she's referring to Matthew McConaughey. He really does have a beautiful voice, and his book, I enjoyed it a ton. I really, really liked his Green Light book. And it's nice to be able to knit while reading. There are some times when I can read and knit, like for example this sleeve I probably could read and knit. I need some kind of support for my book, and I also need some kind of clasp to keep it open when I first started or when I'm about to finish it. And so if I'm needing something simple like this, then I can definitely read and knit at the same time. But then there are other times when I'm working cables or when I'm working lace than when I have to be more focused and I can't be flipping pages while I do that. So yeah, I audiobooks help you with that. I love your conversational style and, of course, your patterns. We enjoy audiobooks while we are in the car. It makes the trip go fast. I tried it once. I was driving alone on the car and I was listening to a book, and I get really sucked in by the story. So I realized that I wasn't paying proper attention to the road while I was listening to the book. So I didn't do it again while I was driving on my own. And once I suggested to my husband, we were on a road trip, and I suggested, would you like to listen to a story? And he wasn't that excited with the idea. So I don't listen to them on the car, but I bet that they are great company when you have to be on long roads. Hi, Hoki, do you have anything that you want to cast on next soon? Greetings from Germany, Nicole. That's a good question. I haven't really spent much time here in my office for an entire week. Actually, I went to Instagram today, which is not working, and I wanted to post about this video, and I realized that I haven't posted anything on my social media and on Hockey Lookout for an entire week. I don't know. I think I want to cast on one skein shawl. I still have to wind the yarn that I showed you last week for the Neighborhood Fiber Company shawl. Do you know what happened? I came into my studio today and everything here was, and it looked exactly like I had left it last week. So I think I haven't written or edited or knit in an entire week since last Monday. That is terrible. What would you guys want me to cast on or design next? Cherry says, audiobooks are perfect for long flights. I'm finally getting to see my granddaughter this weekend after nearly 24 hours of travel from the US to Italy. Yay, congratulations! I also listen to audiobooks on long flights. I tend to bring my noise canceling headphones for those opportunities, and they make my flights really relaxing. Really relaxing. Gloves and a hat with fingerless mitts. Wow, okay. Yeah, I suppose fall has come. Definitely. And I'm getting cold hands. I think that I would really like some fingerless mitts. That would be nice. One skein shawl would be perfect. I have a lot of just one color. Yes. I wonder what shape. I've been thinking about a one skein shawl. I wonder what's my favorite shape. Maybe like an asymmetric triangle or a crescent. Crescent shape shawls are so easy to make and design. But I feel like sometimes I want to change a little bit. I do love a crescent shape. Sarah says, I agree, one skein shaws, please. I would love you to design another wrap. Yours are always so beautiful. Thank you. Megan says crescent. Hi, Megan. Another bandana. A bandana? But a bandana, you mean like a cowl that looks like a shawl, or like a bandana? A one skein shawl, good for variegated yarn. I have a lot. I do have a lot of variegated yarn here at home. Could be a good project. A one skein shawl. I'm wondering what yarn have I been wanting to use for a long time. All of it. All of my yarn I've been wanting to knit for a long time. One skein shawl, asymmetrical. Triangles are easier to wear. I think most people say that crescents are easier to wear. So that's interesting that you say a triangle. Do you mean like a regular triangle or an asymmetric triangle? I broke my wrist, Mary. I broke my wrist last winter. I made a pair of fingerless gloves. They had partial fingers and they are so soothing on my arthritis. Oh, an asymmetric shawl with brioche. Well, that would be nice. I suppose I would need more than one skein then, because I would be adding a color. I could do like a one skein and leftovers. That would be nice. Like a one skein shawl with leftovers, different colors of leftovers. We've been talking about leftovers a lot lately in these live sessions. So we could do something like a one skein and leftover shawl, mini skein shawl. Mini skein shawls are great, and I think that they are so popular, and especially when the holidays come and all of you get your, how are they called? The advent calendars. A leftover project would be nice. That would be nice. I do have a set of mini skeins. I hope you guys are knitting and not just sitting and looking at me, because the content of this live video is so small that I hope you're not getting too bored with me just talking about anything. I just love to talk. And I like that having made the commitment to visit with you every Monday is actually making me feel less like I need to prepare a lot of material in order to record. I just have to be here and talk about what happened this week. So I have this set of mini skeins that I could also use for a project. It could be like a one skein project or a one skein plus mini skeins. Sisha says, or Sila says, are you all having troubles with Facebook? Totally. All of our social media have crashed and disappeared. Can you imagine if we don't have social media anymore? Everyone's knitting. I'm knitting on my rituals. Of course, we are knitting. I'm knitting on Boxy for the Knits Along. Feels like a visit with friends. It's lovely hanging out with you and knitting. Decorating for fall while I listen. That's nice. Knitting on some me time. Knitting the first sleeve of the straw cardigan. I think Messenger is down, totally down. WhatsApp is down, Instagram is down, Facebook is down, Facebook Messenger is down. I'm knitting my second sleeves on the Charles V-neck. We would need quite a lot more without WhatsApp, for sure. Megan, I brought you on my walk. Yay, Megan, for walking. Megan is my training buddy. Megan and I train virtually together, and we're both training to run a half marathon this weekend. That's also why I'm so tired, I think. We've been training very hard. Where's my knitting? So yeah, maybe I could do like I'm gonna grab my basket of leftovers. Recently someone asked me about my studio yarn, which is over there, and it's not inside any bags. And every time I show that, I get questions about moth problems and whether I have moths or not. And I had never had a problem with moths until maybe like a month ago, when I was going through my leftovers and I realized that some of my bowls had cuttings. And then I found little, I think that they were like little larvae in this basket that I'm opening now. So I brought everything outside. I bought all of the mothballs you can imagine, like wholesale bags of mothballs. And I like filled my cupboard or my shelves with mothballs in between all my skeins. No skeins have been damaged that I saw. I took everything out and I inspected everything, and I think that the problem was inside this basket. So now I cleaned everything. I sprayed everything with, pesticides, I suppose. And now I put all my leftovers inside the same basket, but inside a plastic bag with some more of the product. So I hope that I have the problem under control now. It was only a couple of balls that had a couple of cuttings. It was nothing serious, and no sweaters or wraps were damaged. But I am glad that I saw it early, as soon as it was happening. So these are some of my current leftovers and some skeins that I have already wound up that I could use for a shawl. So, for example, I think this is by Vivid Yarns, and this would look nice with all of these colors. That would be a nice shawl. These, by the way, are mini skeins by Frida Fuchs, and they're called Mini Fuchse. They would also look really cool with gray, but I don't have any full skein of that here. This is leftovers that I use for my altogether shawl, my altogether pullover. So this is the yellow color that I use for that pullover by Neighborhood Fiber Company. Trying to see if I can put together like some colors to go with. I like gray and yellow, or this gray and yellow too. I like. Goat Grandma says, I store all yarn in plastic. Whenever I buy new yarn, it goes in plastic bags and into the freezer for several days to kill any larvae. I think that the larvae didn't come from new yarn. I think that they might have come from the summer house. I had taken this basket there, and I think that they might have come from the time that the basket spent there. Okay. Some yarns, I have no idea what they are. This is nice too. We will have more time to knit and crochet. Yeah, if we don't have any more social media, right? This is nice too. For a leftovers shawl. I wonder if I should use all of like single ply, or if I should mix them up like single ply and plied yarns. I use a lot of lavender pouches too. It would be so tragic to find moths in yarn. Yeah, I felt like my world was crumbling when when I found that it was not fun. It was not fun. I have tried to knit your hipster light. It seemed to get stuck with the big cross stitches. Any advice? Jackie, you can email us at designsbyjoji@gmail.com and Julie will help you. And I think that she has a good video to recommend us. It's not a tutorial, but I think that she usually helps our customers with that stitch pattern by sending a video. There's Julie. Jackie, there's a great video. I can give you the link. So yes, please, Jackie, send us an email and Julie will send you the link. I always mix my plies up and I think my shawls are beautiful. I also always mix them up. Yeah, I'm feeling very inspired. Start a leftover skein of something. I have to pick my skein of something very. What could it be? Let's see what I could find. What do we have? I like this a lot. This is Alegría by Manos del Uruguay. And this is 75% wool, 25% polyamide. This is a sock yarn. It has 445 yards in 100 grams. And it's a plied yarn. And if I mix it up with mini skeins, I think it would look really nice. We are very excited. Finding Serenity in Stitches says, hello everyone from Oregon. I just finished my Rafa's hat and started my second one. And I'm working on my Julie's wrap for the knit along. Rose and Anna say, this is beautiful. Joji, what are you pulling yarn for? I missed it. I was asking everyone what I should cast on next. Actually, I wasn't thinking about it. Someone asked me, Joji, what are you casting on next? And I said, I don't know. Why should I cast on next? And then we started talking about one skein shawls. Then we started talking about leftover shawls or shawls made with leftovers. And then mini skeins, and now we're at one skein and mini skeins or leftovers shawl. I wonder if I put out a pattern that says that you need a full skein of yarn, and then I say, and you need 5 colors. 5 contrasting colors, and you need 20 grams of each color. And you know that I use a mini skein set, but would you go to your leftovers and try to get 20 grams, like a set of 5 colors, 5 leftover colors, or would you go buy a set of mini skeins? Because sometimes I think, okay, this is definitely good for leftovers, but then I think people just go out and buy new yarn if they know that I use new yarn, because this is technically new yarn. I could also just pull yarn out from my stash and see if I could come up with a color combination to see how likely it is that I could put together 5 skeins from my leftovers. I suppose that it's very likely that I am able to put together something nice by pulling out from my stash. So I think this would be really nice if I had 5 mini skeins in these colors. I'll read what you guys are saying. Let's see. That went fast. Julie says, how exciting, Maria. I'm also waiting to become a grandma soon. My youngest son and his wife are 38 weeks. Julie, already 38 weeks. Hello from Peru, from Chile. That is a good idea. Yes, leftovers. It depends on whether there is a need for a color family or a random contrast, which is, of course, if I want like a gradient, I would probably recommend a set of mini skeins dyed for that purpose, but it's just random colors, then leftovers, if I have colors, I would definitely go stash diving for leftovers. I love shopping from my stash of mini skeins or leftovers. I would weigh from my leftover stash, and you could recommend that people do that in the pattern. It depends if I'm blown my budget for the month yet. If it was random, I would use leftovers. That is very interesting. Then I suppose that then if I want people to go to their leftovers, I shouldn't use my mini skeins in any order. Like I shouldn't do like a gradient to encourage people to go to their leftovers. I would go to my leftovers, maybe, and mini skeins. Absolutely. I usually have 20 to 30 grams left when knitting socks. A leftover shawl is perfect to use those. Me too, as you can see. These are all like sock leftovers. Leftovers, I would look at both depending on the colors. Beautiful. Hi, morning, Joji from El Paso. Mary says, I am working from my stash for a whole year. I like the idea with leftovers better. That would be pretty. How about you make 2 examples, because I have so much time. One you need with leftovers, and Mom makes one with mini skeins. Mom would love that, actually. I need to teach my mom how to do brioche, because I think I want to do something with a little bit of brioche, because something amazing happened. I was very scared when I published the newspaper pullover, because I know that I was scared of brioche, just because other people were scared of brioche, not because there's nothing to be afraid of. I was scared that people wouldn't dare with the pattern. I was afraid that many people would not try brioche, or that they thought that they needed to take a class on brioche before attempting the pattern, which is not necessary at all. But a lot of people are trying to knit this sweater as their first brioche project, which is great. And it's a complex pattern. I mean, it's not difficult, but they're shaping and they're sizing and there are colors alternating, and it's turning out so great. And I think that we might be losing fear of this stitch pattern, which I have said already, it's just another stitch pattern. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's like the first time you knit with cables. You probably had never used a cable needle, and you were going slowly and maybe a little bit afraid of putting the stitches on the cable needle, but then everything worked out. So I want to use a little bit of brioche in another shawl now that someone suggested it, because I think that the more I use it, the more that we all get used to it being just another stitch pattern. Okay. Oh, so many messages. This is fantastic. Thank you. I would go to my stash and use leftovers. Then I would probably buy a full skein of whatever I need. Random colors. I would love to use my mini sets and a main color for a shawl. I agree. I usually have 20 or 30 grams left. I tend to gravitate towards colors that complement one another. Mary says, I struggle with color. I think that the good thing is that if you struggle with colors and putting them together and you prefer to buy a set that has been custom made for a specific design, then you can. But if you want, you can just shop your stash and then you can use up a lot of the leftovers from your socks. Dark gray is very pretty. I have been wanting to try to do a crochet version of, I missed that message. I have been wanting to do a crochet version of the hipster shawl. Christine says, or more leftovers with the main color. I think using leftovers in a project is great. I have lots of sock yarn, 30, 40 gram leftover from socks. I have a color palette I like to use, so I could definitely pull from there. Hello from Baltimore. Nancy says, are a lot of people knitting the new fall beanie? I think that she's talking about the Change Your Mind beanie. Yes, please, more brioche. Julie says, team pullovers are amazing. So many fantastic sweaters in all the colors. They are amazing. Many people excited about brioche. I have never tried brioche. Don't be afraid of brioche. There's nothing to be afraid. It's just another stitch pattern. I have never done it. Is it difficult? Not at all. The newspaper sweater is a beautifully written design. Thank you, Julie. I would use Dash. I need to learn brioche. Brioche is not difficult. Ultimately, it's just another stitch pattern. I think that we've just decided what my next design should be. You all and I, right? We've all really decided it has to be a brioche shawl with one skein as the main color, and then leftovers for the contrasting colors, leftovers from my stash. Most mini skein sets come with 5 colors. So probably what I should do is try to use 5 colors from my stash. That way, if you invested in a set, you are not left with colors that you haven't used, correct? If I'm thinking things correctly. This is a nice color too. So that is nice. Totally random color choices from my bag of moth-free leftovers. What other color can I use? This is nice, but probably not enough. Okay, so what's going on there? Hello from Canada. Yay, yes. What inspired you to knit the beanie with such a small needle and single? I don't know. I thought it was the proper needle for the gauge that I was aiming for. I just needed to use that needle to achieve the fabric and the gauge that I was aiming for. And if I had used the needle, probably the rest wouldn't have been satisfying. I have been wanting to the version, the tension crochet brioche stitch. I can't crochet, so I wouldn't know how to do that. Good question. Exciting for you, new show that we've designed together. We're great. We're the best designers there. Brioche takes more concentration. It's my experience. Yeah. I have non brioche and wanting to do it in a high from UK. A green would be pretty with the colors you have. It will be so satisfying to use leftovers, I know. I would love your pattern to be my first brioche project. My first ever pattern work was the starting point knit along, and I've never looked back. That is such an achievement, an accomplishment. Thank you so much. I would love to use leftover yarn. Good idea. So fun. The best wishes from Germany. So I think we're almost ready to go. I like this color, this brick color. I've used it for the beanie that Nancy was asking about, and I think it looks nice with this purple because there's some orange there too. And also I think this matches very well. Then I have this pinky one, which is like a peach, and I think it matches. And I have white, which is a great fifth color, because I also have this damask from La Bien-Aimée, but I think that these are very similar. So I think if I add the white, just makes for a more interesting combination of leftovers. And then the main color, we have decided that it was going to be this gray. I am not 100% sold on the gray. Let's see if I can find some other alternatives. Let's see. It has to be it's difficult. Okay. Okay. Fine, hockey. um, so these are the leftovers that we're considering. And so I have these. Sorry. You were hit by a ball of yarn. Can you hear us yelling navy through your speaker? I'm going to show you how it looks with navy. Hold on. So this is like a warm gray. This looks nice, I think. I don't think it adds anything to the combo, but it doesn't really take away from it. Okay. Okay. Stay there. This is another possibility that I liked. I think this could work really well. Oops. My God, I need to learn how to juggle my balls. Okay, there you go. What do you think? I think this is it. It's like an eggplant. Oh, chocolate brown. The dark is great. Oh, I like that a lot. I think this is it. That looks good. This is all the colors you said. It's like a chocolate with eggplant and some green, and it's variegated. And I only have one skein of yarn, so that is a great thing because I have a big stash over there, but a lot of those skeins are multiple skeins, and I have broken my sets to use just one skein, but I know that it's not the best option. So I think this is it. This and this and this and this. People like it. Yes, this is the rust left over from the beanie. Eggplant is lovely, perfect. I think we have it. Yes, so I've made a mess here, but I'm inspired with a new design idea. Thank you, guys. You always help me move forward. Hi, Ale. So, what else do I have to share with you? Oh, we're over an hour of me just wondering about my room. So I have confirmed that we're going to have an event here in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, on December 4th. And I am going to host it at a house above or on top of where we have the Joji Co. office. It's a big house with several rooms. And so we're going to have a little fair, a little marketplace, and there are going to be 2 classrooms. I don't plan to teach any classes for the event, but I plan to ask a couple of people that I know to come and teach. And I'll just host and say hello to everyone. I'll show my samples and I'll show my my new book coming out with Vera. And I'll get to play with everyone again. And I am really looking forward to hosting a new or a knitting event again. So I hinted it last week. I said that I was thinking about it and that I needed to talk to a few people. And now I can confirm that we are doing our first knitting show hosted at near my house. So December 4, it's going to be probably since the morning until the afternoon. And so if you are in Buenos Aires and want to come, then you're welcome. I'll be posting some more information as soon as social media come back. It's not going to be called Joji Fest. I think that we have enough things called Joji already. But we have named it Buenos Aires Teje, which means Buenos Aires Knits. And it's open to everyone to come and visit and knit and shop and or take classes with us here in Buenos Aires. So I don't know if you have any more questions. I hope you enjoyed the super spontaneous chat. I wish I could have been more prepared, but I'm kind of happy that I'm able to be with you and hang out, even if I don't have a ton of interesting things to talk about. So see you next week. Remember, Monday, 2 p.m., even if social media are down, I'll be here. Thank you. Bye-bye.